Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. It's really appreciated. Well, we thought that we'd take you along on a little day trip today. We're going to have a little picnic, and I'm using this cooler freezer that we've had for about 2 months now. We've used it extensively. I've done a lot of testing with it at home. It's from Bodega TW35. That's roughly a 39 quart or a 37 liter fridge freezer, and it's been working really well for us. When I first get a unit like this, the first thing I do is check out the build quality. I was really impressed with the build quality. Next thing, I leave it in the living room, set up, plugged in for about a week, testing it at different temperatures, keeping things frozen, keeping things cold, freezing items. Freezing items is an important thing that you need to look at when you're buying one of these, because freezing is a difficult thing for these little coolers to do. This froze water overnight, no problem, no issues whatsoever. So I'm really impressed with this. We took it on a 3-day trip to the US, kept the dog's food frozen, all our groceries fresh too. So I'm really stoked on this particular one. So let's take a closer look at it and we'll get our lunch going. So I did say I was pretty impressed with the build quality of this unit. It's high impact plastic, it's very strong, but it's also going to be very easy to keep clean. That's important. I look for a good quality latch, one that locks securely, and this one does. It's easy to open. Oh, see the cold air coming out of there? But it also really makes a positive click when you close it up. Bumpers on the bottom, so if you do hit something, it's not going to damage the cooler, for further protection. And each side has a really nice strong handle for carrying it. When you look inside, as you can see, there's quite a bit of capacity in here. This is the small side. I'm using that as a freezer today. This is the bigger side, which I'm using just as a refrigerator, keeping the beverages cold, keeping the meats fresh, and the ice cream frozen. It's doing a great job of that. Now you can have both sides as a refrigerator. You can do both sides as a freezer if you like. I generally use this small side as a freezer because you generally have less frozen items, but the capacity is great. Both sides have a basket, so it is not light. So if you want to lift this into the back of your car, you can remove the baskets with the food, lift the cooler into the back of your car, and then simply put the food baskets into the cooler afterwards. Alternately, it's really nice to be able to lift the food out in the basket for cleaning. You don't have to take each item out individually, just grab the whole thing and go. Now there are 2 LED lights on each side. They come on when you open the door, so at night you're able to see everything that's inside the cooler. Now, rough dimensions of the fridge side of this unit is 13 by 12 by 10.5, and the freezer side roughly 12 by 8 by 6 deep. Really enough for 2 people, even for a week-long trip. Further on the inside, a really nice flexible seal, so the heat doesn't get in, the cold doesn't get out. And I thought this is a pretty cool feature. Cutting board built in to the lid, and you can put that cutting board into the recess up top. Pretty convenient, and also spots to put your drinks. Most bottles are twist off these days, but if you need a bottle opener, this cooler has you covered. Can't go wrong with a sausage, and my son-in-law wanted me to try the ribs he did in his smoker. So I'm not going to say no to free ribs. Who's going to say no to free ribs? That would be insane. Operation of the control panel is really simple to do. In fact, they even put the directions right underneath the control panel for you. You don't have to memorize it. There's also a USB port here, so you can charge your phone if you like, right off the cooler. That's pretty handy. Now there's a right and left side to this. You simply change the temperature up and down with the plus or minus. So the left side at the moment I have at 31 degrees. If you want to go up or down, easy to do. I have that in Fahrenheit, by the way. And the way you do the right side is just hit the settings button. Now the right side is flashing. You can go up or down like that. Let's leave that set at -2 Fahrenheit. and when it stops flashing, it means the setting that you've chosen is saved. Now you can change it from a maximum or to eco mode. You just hit the settings button once, like that. The maximum button starts to flash. Hit the settings again. Now you're in eco mode. There we go. You can go back and forth. Let's keep it in eco mode right now because I'm running off the battery. So if you're operating this cooler using your car starter battery, you don't want to drain that battery. You want to be able to get home. So they have built into this a low, medium, or high cutoff point, so you will not drain your car battery completely. You change your setting by touching the settings button and holding it. It starts to flash. Right now it's a medium cutoff. You can change it to a high cutoff or a low cutoff. If I was running this on my car battery, I would definitely keep it at a high cutoff. That means it leaves a high amount of voltage in your battery so you can start your vehicle and get home. Oh, free ribs. Free ribs. Oh, looking good. There is an app available for this fridge. You can totally control the fridge from the app via Bluetooth and your phone. It's available on the Apple Store or the Android Store. Works very well. You can fully control it using your phone. Pretty handy to have. One kind of nice feature, I don't have it, but there is a small battery that will fit right in here and it will power the fridge for a short amount of time. While the battery is in there, you can charge that battery with a solar panel using this input right here. Pretty handy to have. It is a small battery, so I'm not sure how practical it is, but you can order that battery from the Bodega website. So one thing that's really unique about this unit, I do like it because sometimes when you put this in your vehicle, the door is oriented the wrong way. It's not convenient. You can change the orientation of this. Just like that. You can access it from both sides. Pretty cool little feature. So as you can see, the cutting board is a little warped. That's because it's frozen actually. It's sitting on the freezer side of the cooler. Once it gets to the outside temperature for a little while, it warms up and it goes flat. But that freezer definitely works. You need to have a salad every once in a while. Here's that beautiful one with some feta cheese, beets, red peppers, delicious. Lunch is served. Don't worry, I'm not eating all that food by myself. Mrs. Woods Walker is joining me today, but I'll be right back to give you my final thoughts on the Bodega TW35. And the nice thing about bringing a unit like this with you on a picnic is that you can bring ice cream. Been in here for several hours now and it's well into the 90s. Maybe one more scoop. Nice. Lunch was great. Those ribs were fantastic. So what are my final thoughts on this Bodega TW35? Well, generally speaking, if you're in the outdoors a lot and you use coolers, I'd recommend looking into getting yourself one of these 12-volt fridge freezers. It's a game changer. I haven't bought ice in 4 years. I definitely haven't had to fish a pack of hot dogs out of dirty cooler water in 4 years. I don't miss that one bit. Now, as far as this one in particular, it's well constructed, very easy to use, easy to keep clean, all positive things. I tested it thoroughly at home for a week. I've had it away for a couple of weekends. You saw me using it today, and it has done everything I've asked it to do without any issues. Keeps things fresh, cold, and frozen, and it will freeze items very easily. That's something for these coolers. Sometimes they don't do that very well. Now, how efficient is it? I would expect this 537 watt-hour solar generator to run this for about 24 hours. Not too bad, but I'm confident with that. If you paired this generator up with a solar panel, Well, you can run it indefinitely, because as long as there's sun, the sun will bring in more power to the solar generator than the cooler will use. So paired up with a solar panel, you can run this for weeks, and I definitely have run these for over a week with a solar panel and a solar generator. Awesome. Now, I'll leave a link to Bodega down below. You can check them out if you like. They offer a 1-year warranty, but if you register the product online, you get a 2-year warranty. Not too bad at all. Wow, I am melting. It's 95 degrees in the shade today. We had to leave the dogs at home. It's so hot, too hot for them, that's for sure. But the cooler kept the beer cold and the food fresh, so that's a good thing. Thanks very much for joining me today. I do appreciate the time you spend with the channel. I'm going to leave a link to Bodega down below in the description box. You can check out Bodega. They have many different models, configurations, sizes, something that will work for you and your family. I'll leave that down below, of course. We'll see you soon in the next video. It won't be long. Take care, everybody.